McKernan, welcome in.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you for your time.
Oh, thank you for coming, and I'm looking forward to talking it over with you. It's a rare sound story when I'm older than the person that I'm conducting the conversation with.
Yeah.
It's a different adventure, and very few have been born in the 1990s, I can assure you of that. Let's start. Born March 19th, 1990.
Right.
What are your early childhood memories when you think of growing up and your family?
Love.
Yeah.
A lot of love.
Yeah.
A lot of cool stuff.
Happy childhood, it sounds like then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, my parents were always kind of the, I don't know if you remember when you were a kid, like some parents are kind of weird. Some parents are kind of like, you didn't feel comfortable with them. My parents it was the house where everyone wanted to be around.
Oh, yeah.
And
I know what you're talking about there. Yeah.
Yeah. And, when my dad did pass, a lot of my friends felt like their dad passed too, because he was just that guy.
He was that guy.
Very, very, I would say just like love was what they, like, it was just constant. And they would get mad about certain things here and there, but like the overall vibe was just very loving and very like supportive. Yeah.
Well, that's a wonderful way to go and experience life, but in addition to be that house where everybody's coming by, I know what you're talking about. That's a great thing. There's always somebody around. You never feel lonely. When I say, okay, what are you picturing when I say your early childhood? Tell me about your mom. Tell me about your dad. Tell me about your family in general with your sibling.
When I think about my early childhood, again, it goes just back to like, it was just great. My first memories with my dad were just really cool things. He had a super cool boat up in Wisconsin that we spent a lot of time just doing like cool things, like always sports. Sorry. But when I was young, my dad would, like, we went to all the Rams games during the Super Bowl season.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like.
You were a young man then.
We went to all the Mark McGwire major home run games, so it was like.
So you were there for 62?
60, we missed 62.
Yeah.
We saw 70 and we saw 71, or was it 71?
So, yeah, you got to 70 on the final game of the season.
Yeah, and countless like he just focused on. He made and my mom made a very clear decision to, like, bring us to do these random cool things that other, like, my friends weren't experiencing. Like, he really dove into being a dad. And, I'm a father now myself, so I use so much of what he taught me in my present situation.
Such as?
Love.
Yeah.
Like that, love and positivity.
Yeah.
I would say. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little. But
so it was like, because sometimes you'll have parents who are disciplinarians, so to speak.
Yeah.
Not that there is anything wrong with being a disciplinarian, but I noticed you used the word positivity. So there must have been a specific style of encouragement, I gather.
Yeah, it was always. I actually talked to my aunt about this last night because she came from like a very hardcore kind of old school family, and my dad just set a basic expectation of like treat people well, love people. Treat the people that you love in the best way possible. And the rest will kind of figure itself out. Like, that was like, my dad didn't get mad at me. He would just get disappointed. He would not get mad. He would just be, come on, dude. Like, step up your game.
Yeah.
You're better than that. Like, that's not cool. And it was always understood.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to disappoint him because he was, like, that good of a dude.
Yeah.
Where, I had friends that had a different setup where their parents would yell at them and get angry or whatever. But my dad would just, I knew when I screwed up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I knew when I screwed up.
Yeah.
And it would just take like a little look and just like a, come on, bud.
Yeah.
Like,
You know better. You know better. Yeah. What was his family background growing up?
So I never.
Do you know what he what style of parenting he came from, and what was his sibling situation?
So I know his sibling situation. I never met his dad. He passed before I was born. But everyone tells me, like, his dad was exactly like my dad.
Oh, wow.
Like,
Okay.
And then the other two brothers kind of missed that. Like, my dad was like a really, like, huge presence in terms of, like, like some sort of people that just, you get into a room and, like, people are just drawn to you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that was my dad, and his brothers weren't like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I know his dad was very similar to him.
Yeah.
From what I've heard.
Okay.
Without knowing, experiencing that directly myself.
Mm-hmm.
All I've heard is, like, yeah, your dad was the most like his dad out of all the boys. So, yeah.
Well, it's a wonderful compliment to both your father and your mother that you want to come in here and really express gratitude for the way you were raised.
Yeah.
And then therefore, in turn, the way you are now raising your family. I mean, that's a tribute to them as people, but then also that the legacy continues because you are utilizing the lessons you learned with your children. So what are some of those styles of parenting, lessons that you are now implementing as you raise your family?
I will say, so I have 3 girls. I'm also my oldest is my stepdaughter, but I've known her since she was 2.5, so I'm basically, dad for her. So I have 3 girls, and I don't know,
I have 2 boys.
You have boys.
Yeah.
So, girls are complicated.
Mm-hmm.
They can get, especially at 14 years old, they can get a little, I don't want to say difficult, but just complicated. And I got complicated too at that age myself. You get towards that stage. I don't know how old your kids are, but like once you get towards that stage of developing into a teenager, the rebellion like starts to kick in.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
with not rebellion, I should say, but like just you start not liking your parents so much.
Yep.
And my parents handled that in a really great way. They were just like, okay, we're going to give you your space. We're going to realize that you're going to be in this situation for X amount of time. And they're going to come right back to us, which is what I'm personally handling like my 6 and 4-year-olds still think I'm like the coolest guy ever. So, like that's not an issue, but I know it's coming
Yeah.
down the stream.
Yeah.
Like, and when you get to that point, it's what I learned from my mom and my dad personally was like, just again, support. Don't overreact to certain things. Realize that your kids are going to screw up. They realized I was going to screw up. I did screw up at times, but they were always like, they were always there.
Yeah.
I knew they were always there, like truly to my core.
Yeah.
It was like, even if I do something ridiculous and really screw up, I still got them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they, not that I had anything like that happen, but it was that, I guess the true source of like knowing that you have a serious rock, like, and knowing that.
Yeah.
'Cause I had
The peace of
friends-
mind that comes with knowing that you have that.
Yeah. And I had friends that like didn't feel that way about their parents. You know, they obviously liked their parents, but like it was still like not, like I had such a deeper relationship with my parents where I was like, yeah, you're my parents, but you're also my like really good friends.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to emulate that with my kids.
Mm-hmm.
That's my goal.
No, that's what a compliment that is. You've talked about your parents. We've talked certainly about your father. Tell me about your mom.
My mom is one of the strongest human beings I've ever met in my entire life. And I don't just say that because she's my mom. I say that because I've witnessed it in real time. How strong she is. Like she is I like to call her the Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Like she is the like picture of strength in my opinion. And that's my opinion. And my mom, she broke her neck when she was in her mid-20s
Oh my goodness!
on a water slide.
Wow.
And she was paralyzed for quite some time. Doctors told her she would never be able to walk again. And this is another thing I love about my mom and dad's love story is like my dad was with her at that point, and how it happened is they were coming back from the Ozarks and they were like, let's go to this water park. They were with friends, and then randomly she broke her neck on the water slide, and it was like a huge deal. She had to go to Columbia at the hospital, and my dad would go after work every night to go see my mom. Wow. Every night.
Wow.
And early on, like when I would come to my mom with stuff of like, oh, this isn't going well, this work situation isn't going well, she would tell me, she's like, how do you think I felt when the doctor told me I'm not gonna
Yeah.
be able to walk again?
It puts you right in some perspective there, huh?
But like that's like, yeah, she's just that's so strong, and how she's handled my dad's loss has been it's been admirable.
Yeah.
Like, because they were together 50 years. 50 years of like love. And you know when you see people that love each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
they loved each other.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
it was true, like, and to lose your partner of 50 years, that's gotta be tough.
Oh my goodness. What did you see from your mom in that process of your father's passing that further made you view her as the Rock?
I would say like realizing that she was also processing a very difficult experience and still managed to like be the solid, like, you know, everyone was emotional at that point, right? Like, I was emotional, my sister was emotional, things were happening at a very, and my dad deteriorated quickly, so she was just like, she was just so steady. She was so steady. And like, I know she was feeling it more than any of us because that was her guy.
Mm-hmm.
And like the fact that she managed to still be so incredibly strong and like, we're going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. Like, I think is admirable
Yeah.
because it's not really easy to do when things hit the fan like that.
Yeah.
They did hit the fan pretty quickly. And yeah, she, you know, my dad had struggled for a little bit too. You know, he'd been in and out of the hospital, and me and my mom were always the ones there in the hospital. My sister lives in Wisconsin, so it's strictly you know, she wasn't able to be there. But
Mm-hmm.
we'd been in and out, and yeah, she. The strength of her is something that I hope I will have at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is your kids' relationship like with your mom?
My kids,
Mm-hmm.
they absolutely adore her. Like, literally go out of their way to be like, when can we see Mare?
Yeah.
Like, she's like the beacon of like love and like,
Yeah.
and as was my dad. Like, there's a thing about my dad. I always tell people, all he had to do was sit. He just had to sit down. And I think there's a thing to be said about kids coming up to people that just sit.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All he did was sit.
Yeah.
And all the grandkids would just run up to him
Yeah.
and be like, he didn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
It was just like, here, give me a drink, get me my food, I'm gonna sit here. And all the kids would just run up to him, and he would make them laugh, and he broke some sort of code. I don't know what the code is. Just being able to just sit and chill.
Oh, that's I know exactly what you're talking about. That magnetism. I know what
Yeah.
you're talking about, man.
Yeah.
You're doing this as an expression of gratitude to your family and making sure that you're able to communicate that. Tell me about your wife. Tell me about your children, and the experience you've had in becoming both a husband and a father.
Yeah. It's obviously the best thing ever. Would you not agree with that?
Oh, it's an eye-opening experience. Yes, and from my standpoint, makes you a better person. You know, but you know, I'm sure it's a case-by-case thing.
Yeah.
But from my experience, yes.
It is absolutely, in my opinion, the greatest thing that's ever happened in my life is having my girls and having a family and meeting my wife, Stacy. And my dad was also a really good read of like people. Like, my dad was cool with everyone. He was the type of guy where even if he didn't like you, it's still like, come on in, have some drinks, have some food. I don't like you, but you're still welcome.
Yeah.
But like his people, Stacy was absolutely one of his people. Like, and I've obviously, as you have, like, had previous relationships, and like my dad met some of those girls, and he was just kind of like whatever about them. But like, him and Stacy just had like a absolute lockstep, relationship of inside jokes, and my dad would always be like, "You gotta lock this thing down, buddy."
You recognize right away, huh?
Yeah. And it was different because he didn't say that about.
You didn't say it about everybody, huh?
No. No. But yeah, no, that's yeah. I try and find someone that, like, my goal in life was to find someone like my parents were, because they were just like friends, but
Yeah.
also truly in love, and that's how I feel with Stacy. Like, we can bullshit. I can say ridiculous, stupid jokes to her, and she's
Yeah.
like, "That's funny,"
Yeah.
instead of being like guarded. And yeah, it's like, I think the basis of any relationship, from what I learned from my parents, is like friendship.
Yeah.
You got to be friends with your partner, right? And I'm lucky enough to have found someone that I'm legitimately friends with. And obviously, all relationships have, you disagree on things here and there. But if you have a basis of like, this is my person, that's what my parents had, and that's
Yeah.
what I strive for, and that's what I found.
Oh, that's so good to hear. I love hearing that, because it's one of those things that I mean, at least in my opinion, I don't think people, especially as we happen to, as you and I sit here, I am also a child of two parents who are, been together 50 plus years. And when you're part of it and you grow up with it, you don't realize until a little later on in life that not everybody grows up with this.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then when you, the individual, are starting to, go out with people and consider marriage or getting married, you don't necessarily realize that this is as easy as your parents made it look. And so you can take it for granted. But yet it's this critical decision, maybe the most important decision that somebody makes, even though I don't feel like we hear about it, as to who you will marry, because it can impact so many different elements of your life going forward, in so many different arenas of one's life.
Yeah.
So that's a great thing to hear you say that, both about your parents and about your wife.
Yeah, and just going back to my parents, like, they set, I don't want to say the expectation, but that's all I was used to. I grew up in a situation where it was like two people genuinely in love with each other, and genuinely, like, it was just a beautiful relationship. So it's like, that was my expectation in life. Like, that's how things are. And then as you grow up, you see other things and other people and how other people operate, and it's like, no. I mean, they set a standard of such they set a standard.
Yeah.
Like, a really high standard of, like, no, this is doable.
Yeah.
Like, you can have this awesome of a life for 50 years with one person.
Yeah.
Like, and it was beautiful to watch as I've grown up, and just watching them, like, in my dad's final years, they would still, like, hold hands and do that little stuff like that, and this is true love.
Yeah.
That's hard. You don't see it.
Yeah. It's rare. It is rare. But if you grow up with it, you just assume everybody's got it. And that's kind of like this conundrum, I suppose. I mean, hey, I wouldn't trade it for anything, but it's just like, oh, this isn't as easy as our parents made it look.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that you don't realize until you're out there, and then you see, oh, other parents aren't necessarily experiencing this, or people start getting divorced who, your friends when you're a kid. You said that becoming a father is the greatest thing ever. What is what is it about? If I can try to dial down on that, I share your opinion, but why do you feel that way about it?
That's a very complicated question.
Yeah, it's a simple question, and yet it makes you really think, doesn't it? I don't know how I'd answer it, so I'm glad I'm the one asking it.
I would say just the absolute, like, that's like the fullest form of love in my view. Is like, I obviously love my wife, my family, but like, once you have kids, it's like, how can you love anything more than
Right.
that? And it's just the little things throughout the day, the little random come up and give you a hug, or, you know, I don't know how old your kids are, but like, I'm in a really stage right now of like, this is the good time right now. Like, they still think I'm cool. And yeah, that just totally unconditional love from a child that you are responsible for taking care of and advancing in life is just, that's my ultimate responsibility. Like, nothing is more important in my life than those girls, Stacy. Like, work is work, whatever.
Right.
Like, there's nothing more important than taking care of your kids and guiding them through this incredibly complicated world, which is what it is.
Yeah.
And like, unfortunately, I see kids that, you know, simply are kind of off track because their parents don't really care.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and like, that's my biggest job, is taking care of my girls, and I like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like being a dad. Do you
Yeah.
like being a dad?
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, but here's the thing. I kind of was, Kurt here, who was producing this conversation. We were talking about it before you got here. And, you know, I didn't care about becoming a father initially. I didn't care. I shouldn't say that. I knew my wife may have a condition where it might become difficult to be pregnant. So therefore I didn't want to pressure her.
Right.
Because it might be out of our control. But now that I'm experiencing it, I mean, it's truly the greatest thing. But I also know, because of our experience, that some people might not be able to experience it. So if anything, unless I'm asked about it, like he did, like you just did, I don't say it, because some people might not be having the same experience, or they might not be able to experience it. But you and I both kind of come from the same thing, with having two parents who, you know, were really happy, which is, as we've found, not necessarily common. I don't even know if it's the majority. And then we both love being parents. But at the same time, I think if I would have become a parent when I was in my 20s, I would have been an awful parent. So it also kind of worked out that I was, you know, that I had my fun, so to speak, and then I could participate in, you know, what you were describing, which is the most selfless activity that you can experience, which is becoming a parent.
Yeah.
You know, so I love it. Can't get enough of it. So it's the absolute best thing, you know. So yeah, I share that. So when you're talking about this, I completely know what you're speaking of.
Yeah,
you know?
no, it's the most rewarding thing I've ever experienced in my life.
Yeah,
for sure. And and that is because of my parent. Like, my parents allowed me to have the opportunity to succeed in life, to build a family, because that's what they taught me.
Yeah.
Like, that's, like, this is the way. Like, it was always abnormal going to other places.
Yeah.
Because, like, not abnormal. Like, I was always comfortable when I went to other friends' houses or stuff like that, but I was always like, this isn't the same as my spot.
Yeah. Well, that's probably why everybody wanted to come to your house, you know? It speaks to that. And with family being such an important part of your life, both when you were the son, and now in your role as a husband and father, what are the family traditions that you experienced growing up, and what are you now a part of with your family?
We do obviously all the classic. I think the biggest thing for our family is we have my dad and mom have a place in southern Wisconsin,
Mm-hmm.
and it's called Lake Delavan. And my dad was a big wooden boat guy. There's a couple wooden boats up there. So I think like family tradition wise, minus like classic holiday stuff that
Yeah.
everyone does, I would say that's probably the top the top one. And why I say that is because when we would go up there, and we still go up to, my mom's up there right now actually. Um, it was boating and just like ideal summer Wisconsin. Mainly the boat, like the boats were a big part of our upbringing in
Yeah.
terms of tradition. And I know that's some people are lake people, some people aren't, but southern Wisconsin, if you haven't been there, I highly recommend.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, right around Lake Geneva.
Yeah.
But yeah, that, and then we would obviously do the standard holiday stuff. And my dad in particular really made a point to like go to, we went to spring training a ton,
Yeah.
like go down to Jupiter. Obviously we went to a ton of Cardinals games,
Yeah.
Rams games when I was younger. But like in terms of like family traditions, it was always like it was the spot to be.
Mm-hmm.
My parents' house was the spot to be. When people were in town, they would come over there, and it was awesome.
Yeah. That's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody kind of knows that house in the neighborhood, and
Yeah,
it's an awesome
and they were
thing.
really cool about like
They probably loved it. I mean, if based on the personalities you're telling me, if they didn't like it, they probably wouldn't have had it going on.
I mean, we were doing dumb shit too,
Yeah.
like smoking cigs outside and weed and whatever, but like they were still like, they really enjoyed seeing us having a good time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like that was rare because
Yeah.
we would go to other houses and the parents would be like, get the hell out of here. Not that they were like, we were doing anything too crazy, but it was still like people were drawn to my parents.
That's a great thing. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So.
This is a question I'm usually asking somebody who's, 40 years older than me. But in this case, I'm asking somebody who, as we're sitting here, what, you're 35, 36?
35 up.
Yeah. But you're certainly wise beyond your years. But this is the question. What do you know now about living a happy and successful life that you didn't know when you were 20? So usually people are reflecting on about 60 years worth of history, looking back or more. You're looking at it with only 15 years between 20 and 35, and you cite your parents as an example. I don't know if you recall how you answered the question, but I'll read it and then you can elaborate. Thanks to my parents, I always knew leading with love was the play. I've learned how important that is as I've grown older. Caring about individuals on an individual basis is more important than money. I'm in a position now that I never thought I'd be in, and I believe the reason I am is simply due to the values my parents instilled in me. Caring about people, helping people, and being present for them is something that has been instilled in me to the point that I find it odd when I come across people who do not behave like that. So the lessons that your parents taught you are what you are carrying out
Yeah,
now in life.
100%. Yeah, and I think that's the biggest message I want to send to my mom, mainly, but also, my dad, who's still here. I know he's passed, but leading with love, I think if you lead with love, and that's like a really broad term, leading with love, it's like, yeah, you can just love people. But like leading with love in terms of like truly caring about individuals, like truly like listening to what someone's telling you. You know, there's a lot of people you talk to in life, and I'm sure you can relate, that you can just see it one ear out the other. Like being there for people, truly caring about people, and like leading with love. Leading with love means leading with like caring about individuals as individuals. So that has gotten me to where I'm at right now because that was what I was taught from my dad and my mom. Like that was instilled in me of like things could be going wrong, things could be negative, things could get tight, but like it's going to be okay. And if you treat people well and you take care of the people you care about, things are going to fall in line.
Yeah.
And that's like it sounds super basic, but I think it's important. Like a lot of people just forget that basic fact. Like if you take care of people, like good things are going to happen to you.
Yeah.
Like it's not a selfish thing, but it's like it all, what goes around comes around.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that was a huge lesson that my dad taught me of like, hey, if I get, you know, if this bad thing happens or this bad thing happens, like just brush it off and keep being a good person, keep treating people well, keep respecting people and not being an asshole. And good things just tend to happen.
Yeah.
It's like a very basic philosophy, but like his philosophy was literally like, be a good guy.
Yeah.
Take care of people.
Yeah. But isn't it nice that it's as simple as that? It's easy to follow when it's a simple roadmap, right? Yeah. What you're doing, I think, is a great, I mean, like I said, I haven't met, you know, your family, but it speaks quite highly of your family that you wanted to do this, number one. Number two, obviously, with your father passing here, and as we're sitting here, you're coming up on a year since then. I'm sure it's been incredibly difficult, and that's probably an understatement.
Yeah.
Elaborating on your mindset with how you viewed things before your father started to go through what he went through before passing, and now, and your family as well. Has that given you added perspective, whether it be appreciating seeing your mom, like you said, while she was grieving, but yet leading the family still? Such a difficult dual role that you probably didn't even think about until you actually saw it taking place. Or your family, or you individually. How has this impacted you, your family, over the last year?
I think it's impacted us all in a lot of different ways. We all deal with it differently. I personally, I knew my dad was going to pass the moment I saw him in the hospital. So I kind of started grieving like right off the bat because I just knew it was gonna come. But like it has definitely strengthened my relationship with my mom because it's transferred from you're my little boy to like you're my friend now, and I can talk to you about stuff, and I want her to talk to me about this stuff because it's like I'm the type of person, I like talking about the bad. I like talking about the struggles of life. Like life is hard. It's hard. It's also very beautiful, but it's hard. And it's okay to talk about the things that suck.
Yeah.
And I'm blessed to have gotten to that point with my mother. where, you know, she's more willing to be like, yeah, I am pretty sad. This is pretty, it's like, yeah, it is. It's
Yeah.
tough.
It's tough.
Like, that was your guy. That was my guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we lost our guy. And it's okay to, like, not be okay. And the older generation just feels a need of, like, I'm fine. And it's like, no, it's okay to, like, talk about the fact that such a huge part of all of our lives, like, and such a force and presence,
Yeah.
and like such like a awesome dude is gone. Like, it's okay to discuss that. And we're having more and more of those conversations, which is really nice, because it's like, okay,
Yeah.
Mom, you're my mom, but you're also not my homie.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to worry about, like, I'm a 35-year-old man with kids.
Yeah.
I'm not little Cannon. So, but yeah, it's definitely gotten us closer, I would say.
Yeah.
And my sister too everyone grieves differently. I don't know if you've lost any parents yet or not, but everyone takes their own pace.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
Yeah.
it's definitely grown us all closer, for sure.
Yeah, it's an amazing thing that it winds up working out that way, but that also speaks to the family. People didn't break off.
Yeah.
You guys got closer.
Mm-hmm.
You know your family is going to watch this. Is there anything you want to make sure that you say now that you haven't said yet?
I just want to tell my mom how much I love her, how much I respect her, how much I admire her strength, as well as my sister. You know, losing my dad, obviously, I'm kind of the guy in the family now. But both of their strength has been incredibly inspiring. And I'm going to learn from how they've both handled this for the rest of my life and apply it to the rest of my life. And I want them to know how much I love them, how important they are to me, and how I'm always going to be there for them, no matter what. So, yeah.
It's a beautiful sentiment. I really appreciate you coming in. I know it is not easy, but you have paid a great tribute to your family and your father's legacy, Cannon. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Really enjoyed the conversation.
Yeah.